Hello, hello. My name is Braden Cruz. I'm with Sooner Marketing. My job is to help you look good, be found, and stay on top. We are 10 years and 3 weeks into business and always continually working with our clients in various industries. Our job is pretty much find out who your target audience is and find creative ways to help grow your business and get their attention, right? Help increase those conversions and make you look good, be found and stay on top, like I said. So, in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is all the various digital advertising opportunities, metrics, some analytics, and kind of dive into the weeds on everything that goes into digital advertising. So a lot of times I'll talk with clients or talk with people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I ran Google Ads once, and yeah, it didn't really work." Or I ran Facebook Ads once, and it really didn't work. So yeah, a lot of times when I hear that, I always want to make sure that we preface that with, yeah, it's probably because you didn't have a target audience in there, or it could have been you didn't have good creative, or your messaging wasn't right. Most of the time, people just hit that fancy blue button on Facebook or Instagram and boost it, promote it, or sometimes they're doing smart Google ads and they don't budget enough. Sometimes spending can be a big problem in that too, where they've only spent $50, $100, $200, and the issue is no, you need to actually spend 500. You need to spend 1,000, 5,000, whatever it is. A lot of times your competitive market will play a big role in that as well. So if you have a lot of competitors that are advertising, that's going to be a big factor in a lot of the performance of the ads. So let's dive into this real quick. We've got a lot to cover today. I'm going to go through a little bit of our digital product guide, and then I'm also going to open up a little bit of our back end system so then we can walk through together on how all of this works. There's going to be five key things that's going to be a big variable in advertising. Who are you marketing to? And that includes their geographic, where they physically located throughout the country. And then what are they interested in? Their age, what kind of jobs do they have? What platform are they on? That's going to be your third one. Your fourth one is going to be budget, and your fifth one is going to be creative. So I'm gonna repeat that again. Geographically and interest wise, your platform, your budget, your creative, and interest. So like there's a lot of different things there that play key components and key roles into the performance of your ads. So there's a lot of things that we can cover in here. We can go into display advertising, geofencing, pre-roll. That's going to be like on YouTube, connected TV, CTV, YouTube ads, cost per view, over the top OTT like Hulu ads, sports OTT, streaming audio, paid social. It's like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, LinkedIn. And then we can go into some of the search engine marketing, SEM, aka PPC, cost, pay per click, Google search ads. You've got Google shop ads. We even had some advanced targeting techniques for IP targeting, and that's really cool. Targeted email and remarketing, aka retargeting. We have some add-on features like keyword retargeting. So if they're particularly typing in certain keywords and we want to show those ads, maybe they're display ads, or maybe they've typed in something and we want them to watch something in particular. That's where that comes in play. Offline visits, add-ons, so we can actually get some more insightful data on physical store visits, and then addressable add-ons. There are some important notes to mention here. So there's minimum durations and minimum ad budgets. Like for example, on Facebook and Instagram, we recommend a minimum of 30 days, although there's opportunities for us to do 1 to 2 week short-term campaigns if you have a special promotion, a special, or an event or something like that. That's really important. Most of the time, you're going to want to run these for a minimum of 30 days and get those really optimized up and going. Usually within 1 to 2 weeks, you'll know if the ads are working or not, and be able to make some of those adjustments to get those on track. Google ads, for example, something like those. We're doing search engine marketing, pay per click. You're showing up on Google search results. Those you're going to want to run for a minimum of 90 days and budget at least $500 a month for. So as we go into the objective, our objective here is very, very, very important to address in the initial stages. What are we trying to get them to do? Are we trying to get them to call? Are we just trying to drive some website traffic? Are we wanting them to engage more? Or maybe we're trying to hit the top of the funnel more and attract and build some brand awareness. Maybe we're trying to get them to watch videos, generate leads, download mobile apps, shop on the website. Like there's a handful of different objectives in there, and that's a big factor that'll help determine what platform, and then also what creative to have, and that'll help kind of create that those those expectations that'll kind of align that. So there's lots of different types of advertising on paid social and SEM. So you have some responsive search ads, dynamic, display, app promotions, videos, shopping, local search, like Google local ads. You've got call only ads. So if you're like, well, let's run some ads to where we're generating some phone calls. I want the phone to ring. Those are a particular style of advertising with, again, referencing back to the objective, right? Lead generation, that could be a phone call, or that could be a form submission. That could be a variety of things. What we do in all of our services is we make sure that we're doing the ad copying, creative, working with the campaigns and the objective and optimizing those, working with some keyword research, making sure that we're monitoring the positive and negative keyword management. So if we're starting to rank, if that's Google ad, for example, or the display ads are starting to show on certain websites or certain keywords that we are saying that are not resulting in conversions, then we will do what's called negative keywords, and we'll put those onto another list where, like, hey, don't show my ad on these negative keywords. They're costing me money. They're just not working. A lot of companies don't do that. What they'll do is they'll set up your ads, let them run, and then never monitor them. And if you're being charged for monitoring and maintenance, that's a really important thing that you want to make sure that is covered there. So campaign goal and bidding management, for example, that is where you would have a competitor that says, okay, well, we're going to run Google ads, and we want to, of course, show on the top of search results when people are looking for something, and that's where we want our ad to place. And we're willing to pay $4 per click. And maybe you're like, okay, well, we're willing to pay $4.50 per click. Well, then that will get your ad higher than their ad. And sometimes that's not always the best option, though, too. We have to have a conversation and find out, what is it worth? What's a customer worth? Like, what are you willing to pay? I recently just had this conversation with a client yesterday, to where we learned that they're to get the particular client that they want, the customer that they want, that transaction was $700. If they spend $500 on ads, they would have to just get one client per month to break even, right? I mean, and that's more on the gross line. So, the profit margins, like, they're probably gonna have to get 3 or 4 of those before they're actually, like, starting to make money. So we start to create, that expectation, and sometimes that also determines the platform. We have to make sure that, like, if we're seeing that Google ads is $500, and we know that we have to have 3 or 4 conversions a month, if we run Google ads and we see over 3 or 4 months that we're like, hey, we're getting conversions and we're getting great click-through rates, but we're not getting, maybe the conversions that we need, the number of conversions. That could be the time of the year, but that could also be the wrong platform. Maybe we need to switch that advertising dollars over from Google to Facebook. Another things that we'll do is monthly reporting. That's another really, really key aspect. Monthly, quarterly reporting. We can do comparisons year over year. We'll show you what the ads actually look like on these websites that are running, and then we're willing to make those accommodations and adjustments as needed with you, and kind of work that through in a business sense. And of course, we have to make sure these tracking codes and these pixels are set up. That's another really important key component that a lot of companies miss out on. They don't take those tracking codes. They don't take those Facebook pixels or meta pixels and put those onto your website. A lot of times it's really best for having that on Google Tag Manager. So don't just take a bunch of codes and put that on your website. Set up a Google Tag Manager account, set up Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and then make sure that you have all that integrated through Google Tag Manager so it doesn't slow your website down. That's a little website bonus tip there. So when we're looking into objectives here, kind of going back into that real quick, we have some different stages that we can look at. So if we're looking at this chart here, we have our stage of attract, interact, convert, and then take an action. So that's kind of, you're almost building that funnel. And sometimes you've maybe seen this funnel. You've maybe seen that funnel be upside down. So you may have attract be at the top, where you're kind of funneling in a lot of people, and then interact to where they're like engaging, they're liking, they're watching, and then converting is where they're clicking to go visit the website. Maybe they're filling out a form, they're making a phone call, and then taking action. That can kind of go into a little bit of the conversion stage, but sometimes that take action stage, that can go back into bringing them back into the funnel if they haven't already converted. Now, insights, optimizing data. This is a really important component. So our platform has the ability to target by location, contextual context, searches, browsing behavior, and more to create custom audiences for your campaign. And as we learn more about the behavior of your audience, the system will optimize your campaign to achieve those great results. Keyword level contextual. So that's like if we're typing in vacation ideas or cheap vacation ideas, that's for example there, right? The keyword here, as you're seeing, is the short form keyword is vacation. So you can see that here repeated 4 different times. And then some variations of that keyword is vacation ideas, and then family vacation and cheap vacation ideas. And you can even see here in the title, we have family. So, if we're running some ads on display ads, the websites that these ads are going to show on is we want them to be optimized and not just to show it to everybody. We want to show it to people who would actually be interested in what we have to offer, right? So we're going to make sure that those keywords, what people are looking at, not just on the website, maybe they type those in Google, they're going to show those ads to the right area, to the right person. We just talked about that funnel, omni-channel marketing. So it's very important too that we've seen great results from advertising when you're not just advertising on one platform, but advertising on 2 or 3. They work hand in hand. Maybe you're running a brand awareness campaign on social media to where you're just trying to attract people. And then on YouTube, you're playing a video so then they can learn a little bit more about the business and watch it and see what your products and services are like. And then when it's time for them to take an action, they go to Google and maybe they can't they won't be able to go back and find those ads again. But they remember, oh, there was that tree service company that I saw that ad for. I go to Google and, oh, that's what it was. It was this company. I remember the company name. I remember there's something, it sounded something like this. And they referenced the ad. They remember what that YouTube ad or that Facebook ad looked like or sounded like, and it creates some what's called brand recall. So omnichannel marketing allows you to consistently reach your ideal audience where they spend time online, optimizing the channels to the fullest potential. By integrating your marketing message across multiple platforms, you're able to provide a more personalized customer experience. Initial targeting allows you to reach your ideal audience based on their geography, demographics, interests, and behaviors. So whenever we're advertising, there are some restricted category options, such as cannabis, CBD, fireworks, gentlemen's clubs, knives, payday loans, tobacco, vape, guns, vapor, ammo, mace, pepper spray, incentivized, and more. Some of those special ad categories can also include housing, financing, which we want to refrain from kind of staying in those. It becomes a little bit more difficult. It's not like it can be done. Like you've seen political campaigns, I'm sure, but it makes it a little harder to advertise. So sometimes people will be like, hey, can we, let's do some digital advertising. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But just know in advance that maybe some of these platforms won't let us advertise the way that we want to and target certain audiences the way that we need to. So there are some specific states that do allow for cannabis targeting, which is a big trend over the last several years, especially if you're in the state of Oklahoma, Colorado, California, Oregon, etc. So there are some standard display and pre-roll products that we have available to be able to utilize in those states. Okay, so let's go into some of our digital products that we have. We have targeted display. This is a full funnel strategy development and ad creation to increase brand awareness, brand recall, and customer retention. This is a great place to where we can do some A/B testing to optimize audience and creative performance. Within here, we can target IP. We can do addressable, website remarketing, pre-roll video, customer match remarketing, and much more. Within paid search, this is, of course, your typical Google search ads that you see, aka SEM, pay-per-click, Google search ads, which is, again, I'm going to reference this to where it's different than Google local ads, okay? We can do targeted email, so promote special offers and brand messaging directly to a targeted audience's inbox. And then we have paid social, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. And this is merely just with our new platform that we're utilizing, but we have the ability to be able to do TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, LinkedIn ads, Pinterest ads, Google Shop ads, a wide variety. So again, like what I'll reference to in the beginning, so our goal is to figure out who your audience is, where are they, what are they doing, and then put something that's convenient in front of them for them to be able to view and convert. Streaming services can include CTV, connected TV like Hulu, AMC, Discovery, and more. Programmatic audio like Spotify and iHeartRadio, and YouTube, and much more. Targeted display. I'm actually going to show you this real quick. So this is an example of a targeted display ad. this is just an example. So this is a company called Counter. Save 50% off on their Teams plan by signing up your team today. These are different graphics, they're different sizes. You can make just about up to a dozen of these. For the most part, there's about half of those, so there's between 4 to 6 that need to be made, and these will be placed on various spots on a website. There's about 300 million different Google partner websites that Google allows advertising to be placed on those websites, and so how we do this is we design these ads and we put in the parameters of where they're located, what are they interested in, what are the keywords that they're looking at, and let's display these ads on those websites. And here we can do like some IP targeting. We can even do some website remarketing. So when we have that tracking code on your website, we can say, oh, well, let's only show these ads to those people who have visited the website. And then it's going to trigger them to want to come back, right? If you even have like a CRM or a customer list, you can share that list with us. And what we can do is we can upload that list to our software and we can target ads specifically to that list. That's a cool feature that a lot of people didn't know about. You have some targeted display for pre-roll video. Pre-roll means that these ads are not skippable. The pre-roll ads are a little bit more expensive every time, a little bit more costly every time that they play, because they're not skippable, versus the ones that if you just do some regular YouTube ads that allow for skippable, then they cost a little bit less. But it kind of depends, again, like what's the strategy here, what's the messaging, how long is the ad, and go from there. So some targeting capabilities, of course, we have demographics, interest, geography, retargeting. Of course, they're going to see it's on desktop, mobile, tablet, and stuff like that. So that's going to be great. Reach and frequency. This is another really important element that's going to kind of play with, it's going to match up with budget and your audience. If you go too broad, then your frequency is going to be really low. If you go if you get too specific, your frequency is too high. So there's a little bit of a balance, and you kind of have to play between your budget and your audience. So if we're going to do like an annual campaign, we're looking at 3 to 5% or 3 to 5x month frequency. If you're going to do a 30 to 90 day campaign, you're going to want 5 to 10 times a month frequency. And if you're just doing a short-term promotion, 10 to 20. This is a 30-day or less campaign. And if reach, impression, and frequency, these are 3 terms in advertising a lot of people aren't aware about. Reach is one person, like I've reached one person. An impression is this one person saw my ad 3 times, so I've reached one person with 3 impressions. And the frequency is 3. That means one person saw my ad 3 times. It's like the ratio for the percentage of the people that how many times on average do they see my ad. So if you had a frequency of 1.5, that means 50% of the audience that sees my ad, they see it twice. So I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments and I will dive into that a little bit more. Geofencing. This is another really cool thing. A lot of times people are like, can we geofence? Can you offer geofencing services? Geofencing isn't really like its own product category. It's just a type of targeting. And so you still have to have like your creative and like select your platform. You can geofence, like you could run a Google ad if you wanted to and drop a pin on a building and then geofence and basically say, we're just going to advertise on Google search within a mile of this. But you can even get a little bit more specific with geofencing, and you could draw out on a map and say, well, I'm a landscape company. I want some more business here in this neighborhood. I want to target that neighborhood. Okay, well, cool. We can draw a little map around that neighborhood and we can put ads in front of them for the next 30 days, get them to sign up. So, of course, devices and placements. So mobile is really great for this. A lot of people are going to be on their phones, mobile location targeting, addressable geofencing, things like that. It's going to be great. Paid search ads, SEM. So again, all of you guys, almost everyone here is familiar with what this is, but again, we're going to specify that specific difference. Paid ads are on the top of search results where organic traffic lacks. So if you have a website, which almost everyone should and does, that doesn't mean necessarily that business is going to start flowing in. So how are you going to get that business to flow? Well, you need to advertise. A lot of times, SEM and PPC, Google Ads, these are one of the fastest, best ways to generate some traffic and phone calls, form submissions, and get some business rolling in. Some of the benefits here is immediate gratification, man. Like I said, you're going to put that right there at the top. People are going to search for plumbing services, for example, and bam, you're right there. There's numerous targeting options. Like I said, you can put a little pin and say, well, let's just do this, neighborhood. Let's do this area. You could even do zip codes. You can do specific cities. You only pay these whenever somebody clicks. So if you were to run targeted display ads like what I showed you here, these are paid per thousand impressions. So it's different pay to play kind of advertising. While paid search is paid to click. If we were to kind of slide in here, Google local ads, we were to be able to see that on those are pay per call. So it's a little bit different in how we play on these. I always recommend that, like for a plumbing service, I would recommend that they run Google local ads. They have a high budget on those, 1,000 to 5,000 a month. You're going to get that kind of business, and now that doesn't mean you're going to spend that unless you get those number of calls. But trust me, like, wouldn't it make sense if you get $1,000 worth of phone calls and you make $10,000 worth of business? Yeah, right. So then we have paid social, of course, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, um, TikTok. I mean, we could even do Snapchat if we wanted to. Most popular right now is Facebook and Instagram. Of course, we have our geography, interest, demographics, retargeting. So again, if you have that customer CRM list, we can target those specific customers. Campaign goals, a lot of times most common is traffic, reach, or video views. But we can also do calls, form fills, form submissions, and things like that too to help generate some business on paid social media. YouTube TrueView campaigns. These are cost per view model. So like how we mentioned with Google ads, that's pay per click. Google local ads is pay per call. And then how we mentioned on targeted display, that's pay per view or pay per thousand. Yeah, which is pretty much pay per view. So like every number of thousand people that see that ad, that's how you're going to pay for that. Targeted capabilities, geography, interest, demographics, of course, the devices, desktop, mobile, tablet, and connected TV. With streaming audio, there's a lot of ability to get into people's ears here. So, iHeartRadio is a big one. Spotify is a big one. Even local AM and FM stations, Fox News Radio. Like there's a lot that we can do here. As a part of our service, whenever we charge our management fees, we typically do not include like audio and video production or anything that we need to do there. That's usually additional to like the platform and the campaign managements. But outside of that, we cover all the creative for like the display and creating the copy and doing the keyword research and all that stuff here too. But we do have a studio, and we do have the ability to be able to record remotely and things like that with you. So if we need to record a radio ad, we can do some cool streaming audio stuff. CTV, OTT. This allows you to target streaming audience watching premium network content like Hulu, HGTV, Pluto, ESPN Plus, Discovery, the History Channel, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Roku, all these platforms and networks that you guys are familiar with. We do have the ability to do those. And if I recently just learned about this too, we have the ability to be able to do what's called some attribution matching. So if they watch an ad, they go to the website and they convert, we're able to match that up with an attribution and know, oh, this person saw that ad on TV and then they went to the website and converted, or they made a phone call, or within 7 days or within 30 days or whatever it is that they went in and they visited the store. There's ways to be able to report on ROI on this. Streaming sports. So of course, if you guys watch ESPN, Fox, the big network, the golf channels, things like that, we can do some streaming sports, OTT and CTV. Our addressable products deliver advertisements to devices within targeted households based on their IP address. The product is great for clients who want to reach current or prospective customers through their audience segments or utilizing their own CRM list. We can do display, streaming audio, OTT, CTV. So again, instead of just saying, well, let's just target this whole area, we could go, well, let's target these specific homes, with these specific behavioral data or zip codes. Maybe they make this household income, or maybe they have these particular jobs, things like that. So we can get very specific. It's pretty cool. Email is another one. So if we want to get into somebody's inbox, we can do that. Targeted list based on the targeted list based on your targeted geography and demographic. We can do open rates, link click tracking, provide those call to actions. We can do like health, whether or not they're a homeowner, buying activity, whether or not they have kids, age, gender, income, marital status, political affiliation. This is pretty cool. So, and some of these targeting options also apply to some of the other products we talked about earlier. On creative, we take care of the creative displays here. We do have some minimum impression requirements, display specs. So whenever you're paying us to manage these ads and do the creative, we're creating all the different sizes like what we talked about. Same thing like with the audio. So if we were to do some streaming audio, we can take care of all that along with the videos. So I'm gonna show you real quick here on our platform. If I were to come up with a landscaping company, and let's do we'll use my let's just use our company, right? So we can use Sooner Marketing here. We're just gonna call this SMS test and others advertising. So we're going to get some recommendations, and this platform here is going to utilize some really cool technology to figure out where would be best to geographically target demographics, interest, budget, and some recommendations on some of the products. So here it's recommending that we target within 46 miles of our zip code. Male, female, 25 to 65 is going to be our best. Even under $50,000 annual household income. We can remove some of these. So these are, again, just recommendations. And again, we can select their education level, parenting. And we're about to get a really, really specific. We can do some audience interests. If I want to add some more, I certainly can. We can do beauty and fitness, arts and tattoos, books and literature. What else is in here? Marketing services. Yep, that's in there. Business and finance, business operations, metal and mining, retail and trade, computers and electronics, games, government, homeowner. I mean, there's so many things in here. What else? Pets and animals. We can go, oh, well, they have pets, or maybe they're interested in wildlife, or real estate. Yeah, they're interested in property development. They're recreational aviation. Like that's cool. Social services like counseling, welfare, special occasions, birthdays, holidays. So that's another cool thing. Like if you are like, well, let's target people who have a wedding that they're working on planning, or they just got engaged, and you want to run ads to those people who have a scheduled wedding in the next 6 months or in the next 12 months or something. You can target those specific people. Sports, of course, we have combat sports, fantasy sports, individual sports, winter sports, water sports, football, basketball, baseball. All those are in there. On weather, that's a cool one. Localities. You can target regions like that, right? So that's pretty cool. So we can just take its recommendations, and now I'm going to say, okay, so my minimum recommended budget spend is 1,500 is what it's recommending, and my maximum is what it's recommending is 9150. And we can change the duration. We can change this to 12 months. We can change this 6 months. For easy to make this easy, let's just use 12 months. So next, what it's going to do is it's going to calculate who's available in that audience based on the demographics and everything we put together, and it's going to figure out what are the best products to put together here, and what should we be spending. Again, we can see our minimums here right around $500 a month, upwards of around $2,400. It's recommending pay-per-click, targeted display, email, pre-roll, and social ads. If we wanted to add in some other products, we definitely could here and too. Definitely down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. Now what it's doing, it's building our proposal. So I come in here and we can kind of confirm the solutions list. Then this is where, if we have a special added category, so like employment, housing, credit, a little bit like what we talked about earlier, it already has pre-built our audience demographic. This is what's really awesome, is we can see that our population here in this audience demographic is 1.2 million. Average income is 65,000. Median age is 40. Almost everyone has one kid at least. The average home value is 115,000, and there's 28,000 businesses. We can also see ethnicities, education levels, percentage of ages, and things like that. The audience interest, again, we kind of talked about that earlier just a moment ago. Now for our email audience, this is where we can go, oh, okay, well, for example, let's target business travelers, business owners, right? Let's get in the email inbox of business owners. Let's do business owners who are in construction, and let's see if there's landscaping, gardener, landscaper. Yep, that's great. So we can include and exclude and kind of build this out, and then we'll be able to see our available inventory. So I can see here that out of the 1.2 million people, that there are 331,000, about 27% of that audience is who is available and ready for me to target. If you want to do some quick math, just think and be like, wow, out of 331,000 people, how if you could close 1% of those, you take on 30,000, 3,000, whatever, even 300 customers right off the bat. Like, so again, the more that you the more that you kind of look into all this, you understand like how it works. So then we can kind of work through some of our keywords in here. There's lots of different variations. So we have like, and again, we're using Sooner Marketing as an example. We have creative agency, a creative agency, and you're going to see a lot of things like this in keywords, and that's very, very important to make sure that um, those specific words are showing up, and you're not just doing agency. Like, that's just too broad. That's just like doing landscaper, which some people may actually type and use, but you get too broad and you type in shovel, you're going to get everything about a shovel versus like a landscaper that has a shovel. Like, that's a much more specific keyword. No one's going to type it. So now as we go next, we can see that our budget is going to be something that we need to figure out. So now we know who we're going to target. And we have a couple different columns here that we can figure out. We can change these terms and stuff too. If we notice down here on the bottom right hand of my screen, we have reach and frequency. Again, so if you remember what reach was, there we go. Let's see if we can zoom in here. There we go. So if you remember what reach was, reach is one person, right? And the frequency is how many times that they're going to see my ad, right? So I can see that with my budget one, I can reach 64% of that audience with a 1.8 frequency. So they're going to see 80% of the people are going to see my ad twice. I'm not happy with that frequency though. So I would be more comfortable with budget 2 or budget 3 just by looking at this. So I'm going to reach a majority of my audience, and I'm going to have a good frequency of on budget 2, it's just right about 4. And on budget 3, it's just right about 6. And that's the kind of numbers that we want. Okay. Anything less than those, like that 1.8, it's just going to be tough. It's just going to be tough. We can even take out some of these products too. So let's just say, okay, well, this is kind of helping me understand what to do and how this works. So now we can take out pre-roll. We can just do targeted display, social, and pay-per-click, or maybe let's just do targeted display, right? And we can see, how that affects. All right. So, long story short, we went through a lot in here and covering a lot of different digital product advertising options. And, that's the whole point of this is to kind of shed light and open up and see like, how does this stuff work? Because as far as I know, nobody will show you this stuff. Nobody will show you and walk you through the process and hold your hand. So if you got questions, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. This video is a total wing it of the moment thing. So I'd love to make some more professional ones, some more ones I've cropped and edited, things like that and fancy. But I don't know, there's maybe something cool for it to be authentic and conversational. It's like as if you and me just sat here and had a cup of coffee and went through some advertising options. So anyways, so my name is Braden Cruz. My job is to help you look good, be found, and stay on top. I'm with Sooner Marketing. We're an agency based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we have a coast-to-coast reach. We've had clients and have clients out in California, all the way to New York, Orlando, and our next-door neighbors in Texas, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. We would love to work with you. Visit our website at sooner.marketing and get in touch. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you got questions, comment below. There's plenty of ways to contact us, contact me, get in touch, and we'll talk to you soon. You guys have a great day.